Good morning. Welcome to Thrive Talks, Anthony. Today we're going to have a insightful conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development, in addition to your well-being, right? But in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about needing therapy isn't a failure, right? It's a skill. I really want to take in consideration because seeking therapy isn't something that is wrong with you, right? You got problems, you tore it from the floor up, what's good with you, right? It's a sign that you're learning how to support yourself. This is really something that I really wanted to take in consideration because you're making an investment. You're really taking the time to understand yourself. You're trying to unravel what's going on, right? You're trying to develop skills that's going to be beneficial to your life, right? And when it comes to skills, it's almost like the analogy what someone's saying about when someone teaches you how to fish, you're able to, get fish forever, ever, right? You're able to, you're going to eat. So I really want to take this serious because, like I said, needing therapy doesn't mean that you're failing at life. Like I said, something's wrong for you. It's something that you're able to develop in regards to a skill of understanding yourself more and more, right? Even for myself too, I'm a rising counselor, and I will be graduating in a month roughly, and I really want to take in consideration because it's a lot, right? I'm gonna be real with you. I'm coming from a dysfunctional home, right? And I think that when it comes to therapy, it's very essential because it helps me understand my dynamic, it helps me understand what's going on with me, and now I'm able to serve other individuals as well, right? So I just want people to take in consideration off rip is that we don't have to be ashamed to get help. We don't have to, act as if that we have to have all the answers. We also don't have to take values from other people that don't really best suit us. Let's understand, let's develop some rationality, right? Let's really figure out what's going to be beneficial for you, right? And when you're sitting down with a professional, they're able to unravel this with you, and also too add some modalities that's going to be able to help you when your concerns, right? So there's CBT, right? Cognitive behavioral therapy, right? Helping you with skills and understanding what's going on with the mind, right? ACT, acceptance commitment therapy, helping you understand your values, what's going on with you, right? And what's going to be beneficial for your outcomes of where you're trying to be, right? So I just want to give you a little bit of insight on that aspect, but let's dive into the video because like I said, needing therapy isn't a failure. There's nothing wrong with you. It's helping you get where you need to be, right? And I don't want people to be able to manipulate you, use you, have you tore from the floor up, have you confused out here, right? So let's develop some understanding, let's support yourself, and let's get back to the get back, right? So let's normalize and reduce the shame, right? Because like I said, many people believe that they should be able to handle everything on their own. There's a stigma that needs help when it comes to weakness and inadequacies, right? Some of us are taught, some of us are not taught, right? But we got to be able to figure this thing out and develop some proper understanding, right? But let's dive into some psychoeducation to help us be more grounded. Key point off rip is going to be therapy begins to build skills like I said, emotional regulation, self-awareness, and patterns of recognition, right? The brain learns to develop these skills through reflection, feedback, and safety, relational experiences, right? Being around the right people that make you feel comfortable, that make you feel conducive, right? Being in the right environments, right? And at the same time too, like I said, advocate for that solitude. You always want to have time where you're able to really think with yourself, come to yourself, really have that reality check. Am I happy with myself right now? Is things going the way I anticipated? What can I do to really, get the results that I need, right? So you're developing these things within yourself, right? Everybody got to be able to have a little reservation time for yourself to be able to, have that personal time to be able to think, right? Working with a therapist is able to help rewire unhelpful patterns, right, that you may find that you're ruminating, right? So negative thoughts that maybe just spiraling and coming back, right? That's interfering with your progressing or your growth, right? This is why it's always good for you to reach out to like a supportive individual, such as a professional, right? Therapists are here to help, right? So avoiding support often leads you to reinforce that into isolation, which is not good for us, and it also pulls us into stress in that depression cycle. So I don't want you to be tore from the floor up. So I really want us to, like I said, advocate for yourself. Closed mouths don't get what? They don't get fed. So therapy is here to help, right? But don't get it twisted because therapy isn't here to fix you, right? It's teaching you how to work with your mind more effectively, right? So understanding what's going on and how can we really navigate with this situation or circumstance more effectively, right? So let's talk about some practical reframe in regards to how we're able to view therapy differently, right? People can have their own views towards it, right? And trust me, I know the history in regards to how mental health industry used to be. It was a really bad thing, right? People make it seem as if that you're a bad person, you're sick, there's something wrong with you, right? You're a weak person. Like, trust me, I know what's going on, right? But I really want to take in consideration that we have to be able to put people's values aside, right, and do what's beneficial for you, right? And if you need help and you hurting, right, why am I going to sit here and deprive yourself, right? So I really want you to think about these things and do what's best beneficial for you and get yourself the best service. Talk about how we're able to view therapy a little bit more differently. Right, so view therapy as a training, right, not treatment. This is going to be able to help you get back the skills and things that you're able to do more effectively into your life, right? It's a space where you're able to use those practical skills that you're taught in the session or be given in the session or learned in the session, right? Then you may not have before, right? So seeking that support is able to be more proactive choice than, like I said, you just not using it, you isolating yourself, or not even having a resort, right? So going to therapy isn't just admitting that you just, you know what I mean, you don't, something wrong with you, right? You don't have no coping skills, you don't know what's going on, right? This is, like I said, you're learning how to cope. This is helping you learn to be a better person. This is helping you learn to get some more understanding on yourself, your circumstances, and even your environment, right? So some macro action we're able to take, like I said, so application I want to be able to give you, like I said, when you're able to know better, you're able to do better, move better, right? So I really want us to give us something that we're able to help our situation out, right? So identify one area where you're able to feel stuck or you're overwhelmed, right? Write that down. Like I said, I always advocate for people to get their journals. It costs like $1 at the dollar store, let's be real. Really be more intuitive. Talk about your mood, talk about your day, talk about what's really going on, talk about your feelings, talk about, good things, really be having gratitude, right? But really writing things down is going to help you get some more self-awareness and understanding within yourself, right? So writing things down that you wish you understood better about yourself is going to be able to help you. You also could be able to open this up to about in regards to your session with that therapist, right? So consider what kind of support, like therapy, coaching, conversations that can be able to help you, right? So these are things to just keep in the mind. But like I said, be more proactive and write these things down to be more beneficial for you, right? You're keeping yourself more accountable. You're writing a date, you're writing a time, right? It's going to be great for you, right? So ask yourself, like I said, what skill am I missing here? What's going on in my life? Is this helping me out or is it really pulling me down, right? Is this not working for me, right? And like I said, having these conversations with a professional is going to help you navigate some strengths and some positive attributes from you, right? That's going to be able to help you navigate your world. So pulling this video together, I really want us to, like I said, take in consideration that mindset of learning, of striving, of improving, right? And we're learning to ask for help in a more productive way, right? This is a form of strength, right? Not weakness. Don't get it twisted, right? This is helping you get stronger. It's helping you move more better, more assertive, right? And by you becoming this individual that's more healed, that's more assertive, that's more stronger, that's more supported, right? You're going to be able to have better relationships. You're going to be able to be more aware of what's going on, right? People are not going to be able to use you, right? So isn't it funny when you do something that's positive for yourself, it works out for you in a positive way, right? So the math is math, and let's do what's beneficial for you, right? And I really want to take that in consideration because, like I said, when it comes to culture, it comes to all these different things around us, right? These influences, it tampers with our minds. But I really want us to, like I said, put that aside and really come within yourself and think, what if needing support isn't a weakness, but one, it might be a skill that can be able to help you build. So I really want to, like I said, you're not alone in this. You're not the only one that's going through these things, right? But we got to be able to develop some rationale and do what's beneficial for you. So if you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.